Hey, it's Annie, and welcome back to my channel. I know I look really crazy. So I'm actually filming a video on concealer that I'm reviewing. And before I do the rest of my makeup, and I have to fix my under eyes, I have to fix them. So we're just going to ignore that. But before I get up and go in my actual bathroom to fix my makeup, I want to review this for you guys. So this is the Christian Dior. This is the cushion powder. I have heard about this for a while, and it wasn't available, I feel like, for a while here. I was at my Sephora. I saw it, and I'm like, I heard about that. Heard it's supposed to be amazing. I'm going to give it a try. Now, here's the thing. I thought it was kind of like a weird thing to me, cushion powder, because I know how cushion foundation works, but a cushion powder, how's that going to work? Okay, well, this is it. This is in the color, I'm going to explain. This is in the color light, okay? And I already tested this on my TikTok. I hope that you guys are following me on TikTok. You can click the link below in my description and you can follow me there. A lot of times I share stuff there first before I even share it here, okay? So, packaging is beautiful. It is. It is absolutely beautiful. So you just pop it open. See this little thing right here? You just pop it open so it opens real easily, which I appreciate because sometimes things don't. And then you get the little mirror here. You get the little powder puff. You open it up and then there's the powder. So it kind of has like that little, I'm going to zoom you guys in. See how it has like that little mesh there? It's the same as a cushion foundation. Now, whenever you get something like this, you're not getting a lot of product, okay? Even a cushion foundation, you're not getting a lot of product. I'm just not a really big fan of cushions. When they first came out, I bought one from Lancome that I really liked at the time. And I even had, I think I had a cushion highlighter and I had a cushion blush, but I never repurchased any of them. I just feel like I don't think you're getting a lot of product for the money, and I just never ended up reaching for it very much, and I just stopped using it. I think it was just like I feel like it's really gimmicky, and I just feel like it's just one of those things that was like really popular, you know. We all kind of jumped on it, and then we realized, you know what, I could just use a regular foundation. There's really, in my opinion, nothing special about it. There really isn't. And this is, I'm just going to give you a heads up, this isn't either. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to put it, because I have no powder on. I'm going to show you what it looks like. And then I'm going to give you some other options, that ones that I think are better than this, okay? So powder puff. I've already tried doing this with a powder puff. And you don't get a lot of product on here. Like, I'm pressing hard, okay? You're not going to get a lot of product on here. Pressing it on, I'm getting some product, but I'm not a lot. And here's the thing about that. I feel like one of the issues I have with this is I feel like I'm going like this trying to put it on, because I don't know how much. I can't tell, you know? I can't tell how much. So then I'm going to go in with my powder brush and try to pick it up this way. Okay, so now again, I don't know how much I'm really getting. I can't see. That's where you're wasting it, because you can't really tell how much you're getting, and then you're like digging, getting so much, and before you know it, you're going to be out of this damn powder. So this is the way that I put it on. I just want to do it on one side of my face because I want you to see the difference between one side versus the other. So that's the side, obviously, powder and none. Now, it's pretty, you can kind of still see a glow through it. And because I have oily skin, I will shine with this. But looking at it, I don't think it's anything amazing. I don't think my skin looks amazing. I don't think it looks more airbrushed, or there's nothing special about this powder. I know that there's another one that has like a purpley color, it's supposed to color correct. But I have something similar to that, and I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to show it to you. I have something that's similar, and I don't think it looks really flattering on me, and it's another one that was overhyped. So let me get the rest of my makeup on, fix my makeup, and I want to come back and I want to give you some other options, because this is a waste of money and I will be returning this. This is such a gimmick. Don't waste your money on it. You guys know how much I love a nice packaging, but I can't stress it enough. There is nothing special about this powder. There isn't. Okay, so let me get my makeup on. I'll be right back. I want to show you guys some of the powders that I really love. And there's a couple in here that I don't, okay, that I've shared with you guys that I think are okay, probably not going to repurchase them, all right? Because I just feel like this is so overhyped and it's so unnecessary. There's so many powders that are so much better. So one that I'm going to share with you guys, but I don't know how the new formula is. So if you had the old formula and you have the new one and it's not as good, please share it in the comments, okay? Because this was one of my absolute favorites for a long time, and I need to use it up, but now that they don't make it anymore, I'm kind of taking my time with it. And it's the Chanel. I love this setting powder. It's just beautiful. It's very, very light. I love it. It's too bad that they are changing the formulas like they are. This one is next to the Charlotte Tilbury and next to another one that I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you the next three are going to be my top favorite powders, okay? This one is from MAC, and this is their Studio Fix powder, and I freaking love this. Now, this is similar to that in that it has this mesh thing, which I honestly freaking hate. Because it's like that where it's hard to get the product out. I just hate the packaging on it, but the powder itself is fabulous. If I know that I'm going to be, it's going to be really hot and humid, I'm going to have a foundation on, this is the powder that I wear because it will keep my foundation on. There was another one that I liked that was doing that too. It's still good, but this one's even better. So I love this powder. I love it. I love it. I love it. I just hate the packaging because it's one of those where I feel like it's kind of like the cushion where how much powder am I getting out? That's the thing that I don't like about this. But other than that, I love it. I'm probably always going to be purchasing that. Okay. This one's a pretty new one, and I'm actually going to put a little bit of this on right now. This is from Anastasia, and this is the translucent. Somebody said I should try the one that looks like it's kind of like a yellowish tone, I guess. If I can, this is what I try to do with powders personally. When I can, I try to get a powder that's like this, where it's not a color, just because sometimes when you use a color, it can change the look of your foundation as it's wearing. So I really prefer to get a translucent like color if I can, like no color. But it doesn't, just doesn't always work out like that. I'm going to use my rougher brush number 25, okay? And I'm just going to take some of this. I freaking love this powder. I just love it. I don't know that it keeps my foundation on longer, though. I feel like this works better. This one, I still can get some oils, but it just gives me such a pretty finish. Just one side of my face, you can see what it looks like. I just think it's so pretty. I feel like it gives my face, I don't know if you're seeing that on camera. Let me get close. I just feel like it gives a really smooth, filtered look to my face. And I love it. I love this powder. I just got a little one. I didn't expect it to be this little. I'm sure there's ones that are bigger, but I'm fine with this because I have so many freaking powders that I don't mind having a small one. I don't need to have a ginormous one, but this is lovely. I love that powder. The next one is this one. It's not a surprise. It's my Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter. I love this, but I mainly use it under my eyes now. It looks beautiful on my face. I love it. It's just that you hit pan so damn fast. I'm almost tempted to get her bronzer because that light bronzer, I bought it and it didn't even show up on my face. So I'm thinking maybe I could use that because it's kind of the same consistency. The only thing is it's not as light as this, so I don't know if it's going to change the look of my foundation, but I'm really tempted to get it because I just feel like that could be I don't know if it's going to keep my makeup on, but it would give my skin a really pretty look. So I might do that. But I love this. Love it, love it, love it. This is a really nice powder. I love this powder. And I am appreciative of being gifted this powder. Actually, I bought one and then I started getting them, and I have so many of these. I will probably have them for years. And it's Laura Mercier. It's beautiful. I love this powder. It's beautiful. But I will be honest, it's not one that I grab all the time. But this is so much nicer than the Dior, in my opinion. It's really, really pretty. It's fine. It's a fine powder. It doesn't look heavy on me. I heard somebody say, like a younger person say, this doesn't look good on mature skin. So, maybe she's a makeup artist and she uses it on mature skin, but if she hasn't, then don't speak. We've already had that discussion. You don't know what you're talking about unless you have mature skin. I'm sorry, you just don't. Okay? You don't. But this one is really, really lovely. But I'm being completely honest with you. And you tell me if you're the same way. I just feel like this. I have a lot of different products, okay? Because I have a channel. But if I didn't, I would not have this much makeup. I wouldn't. I might have maybe 2 powders, but I wouldn't have a lot. So I reach for the same stuff all the time. The powders lately, these are the 2 that I reach for the most lately. And then this one, obviously, always under my eyes. Those are the ones that I reach for the most lately. Those are the ones, okay? There's some other ones that I use in here because I did a video on, I feel like I did something similar to this where I kind of ranked my powders. But I just wanted to show you guys like some other options, okay? This is definitely much better than that. This is the Givenchy. I like to say Givenchy, but it's Givenchy. I feel like I sound like I'm Midwestern, which I sort of am. Although I don't live there anymore. But anyways, this is from Givenchy and is the Prisme Libre. Okay, so remember I was saying there's a powder that kind of like is supposed to color correct, but here's the thing about it. If you're putting a foundation on, you're not really going to help with any color correcting unless it's not really covering unless that foundation isn't really doing a good job covering. A powder, unless you're going to use it on your own, I don't get the point of it. Unless you put this on before and then your foundation, I don't know. But I just don't think there's anything amazing. I see so many younger people on TikTok like, oh my gosh, it's so amazing. I think it's okay, but I'm going to tell you right now, I'm probably not going to repurchase this. This is the second one I've got. The first one I bought was like a special edition one, and I just didn't think it was anything amazing. I got this, and it's like, it's okay. It's not terrible. It's just not, it's not amazing like I see a lot of people hype it up. I think it's just okay. And I don't get the color thing. I'm trying, but I just don't think it's amazing. I think it's okay. All right. This is another one from Givenchy, and I really like this one. This is just it says powder premiere on it. This is translucent powder, but I really like this. I loved this as far as controlling my oils before I discovered the MAC. But this is another option if you're not into MAC makeup, because I know some people have their opinions about MAC, and that's fine. So here's another option for you. Okay. So this one's really, really nice. I do like this one. But if I had to choose, I probably would repurchase the MAC before I'd repurchase this now because I'm really liking that. This one is Bye Bye Pores from IT Cosmetics. Now this comes in a loose version and it comes in a pressed version, which I'm going to show you. And this is another one that was overhyped on TikTok, okay? By a very young person that like took a brush and like, oh, see, it's shiny and you could see my texture. And then she took the little brush. I don't have the brush, but a little brush. I'm like, oh, see, you don't see it. Well, see, here's the thing. Anytime you put a matte powder on something shiny, you're going to take the attention away from it, okay? So it doesn't really matter what powder you're using. That's such bull crap, okay? It is. Anytime you do that, it's just like I always tell you guys, when you are using a highlighter, you don't want to put a highlighter anywhere where you don't want to draw attention, because that shine and that shimmer, anywhere you put that, you're going to draw attention. If I had a really shiny nose right now, like just from oils, your eye would be right here because it would be reflecting light, drawing attention there, okay? So you don't have to use this powder, and I don't think it's anything great. I find it to be chalky. I think it's okay, but I think it's chalky. I wouldn't repurchase this. I wish I would have returned it, but I have it. I just feel like, in the loose one I used years ago, and I felt like it settled in all my pores, and it made me have polka dots in my pores, as Angie would call it. That's what it did. So I know she loves it. It doesn't work for me. Okay. The magic powder is lovely for under eyes. I prefer the pressed powder right now, but this is a really nice one, and this will last you forever, because honestly, this should be this size. Because if you're setting your under eyes, you do not need something this big. It doesn't really work on the face. I don't find, find it works better under the eyes, but it's just, it'll take me forever to go through that. This one is from Tatcha. This is her, what is this one called? This one's called the Silk Powder. It's very pretty. It is lovely. It gives my skin a really nice look, finish on it. The only thing I will say is I find that throughout the day, it can look quite shiny on me. So if you have dry skin, you actually might like this. It's not really a hydrating powder, but there's something in there that makes my skin a little bit more oily, and that's not the purpose for me. I want to set my foundation, and since I have oily skin, I don't want to make it oilier. You don't have to put this all over either. You can just put it just, maybe on your cheeks where you have a little bit of texture, and it'll kind of smooth it out. It is really, really pretty. I probably wouldn't repurchase it myself, but it is really pretty. This one I'm going to mention over and over again until I use it up, and I am using it because it was expensive, and it's the Chantecaille powder. Don't. I mean, if you love it, that's great. If you love it, it's great. Please put it in the comments. I just think it's overhyped for what it is, and the packaging you're paying for, it's just like it's like drugstore quality. And I'm not saying that as an insult, but when you are paying top dollar for a product, part of what you are paying for is packaging, and the packaging is bullshit. Okay, so no, like this is a luxury packaging. This is bullshit. Okay, so this is the Gucci powder. It's lovely. The only thing is I think I must have stuck something wet in there, so it kind of got icky, so you don't want to get this wet. And you have to use a powder puff with this. You cannot use a brush with it. I've tried. It gives a beautiful finish. I don't know if I would repurchase it at this point because it's not one that I use all the time. But when I do pull it out, it's like, oh my gosh, I love the way my foundation looks really, really pretty. I wouldn't say that it keeps my, sets it so it controls my oils so much, but it's beautiful on my skin. So I do really like that. And this is like a specialty one. I'm going to put a little bit of this on. I was going to put it on, but I'm like, no, because I want you to see my face. I know it looks like I'm putting a lot of powder on. If you have dry skin, I wouldn't recommend it, but my oily ass skin, it's going to be okay. This is from YSL. And this is the Touche Eclat 3D All Over Glow. It's gorgeous. I don't use this every day. I was using it quite a bit for a while, but I kind of backed off a little bit because as you get makeup, like I said, you just grab your favorites. But this is just so pretty just to put like a little, I just put a little bit like right here just to give myself a little bit more of a glow. See that? See how pretty that is? Oh my God, it's so pretty. Definitely recommend it. It's not shimmery, like you're not going to look like a disco ball. It's very subtle. It's very, very pretty. Even on mature skin, I highly recommend it. Okay, so this is one I want to say really quickly about overhyped products. And I'm probably going to mention this in another video, possibly too. Whenever you see somebody younger than you and they're hyping on something, always question it. Because if it's a powder or whatever, it's just not always going to, what works for somebody that's younger, it isn't always going to work for somebody that has mature skin. I've said this before, I'll say it again. Mature skin is just different. It's more than just wrinkles and texture. It's just, mature skin is just different. I don't know what to say. It just is. So what works for somebody that's in their 20s, 30s, or even 40s, when you're 50 and above, it's not always going to work out for you. Okay? So just keep that in mind when you're watching somebody reviewing products. I just feel like so many things are so overhyped by people, and there's some influencers too that are afraid to talk bad about companies, especially as they grow. They're afraid to, because they're like, oh, well, I want to work with that company. Well, I want to work with companies too, but it has to be on my terms, okay? They have to know that not every product that they put out, everybody's going to think is amazing. Wouldn't you, as a company, want to hear negative feedback? I'm going to bounce back to Refer, okay? Refer is one of those companies, and it's rare, okay, that they actually care about what you think. More companies need to be like that. More companies need to be wanting to hear feedback from customers, whatever it is, because then if you get enough of that feedback, if somebody's saying this sucks, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks, then maybe you need to go back in the lab and make it a little bit better. Don't you think? Wouldn't you rather have an influencer saying if something's not good that it sucks and say, we want to work with you because we value your opinion because we want to make the best product. We want people to be satisfied. What about that concept? And I'm not saying just because I say something sucks, it sucks, but sometimes you could even go on reviews, feel certain when you say, look at all these bad reviews, and they're saying exactly the same thing that I was saying. So just remember that when you're watching someone. I'm not saying that I'm the only one that's truthful, but there are some people that just want to work with companies. I do too, but it has to be on my terms. I'm not going to kiss anybody's ass or say something is great when it's not. I'm just not going to do that. It just doesn't help anybody. You come here on my channel because you know that I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to say that I love everything if I don't. And I'm not going to just show the products that I love because I don't think that's helpful either. I think it's helpful for you to see that here's the products I like, here's the products I don't like. And then you as a consumer, you can decide for yourself. I never say you need this. I never, ever, 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 ever say, oh my God, you need this. Even the stuff that I love, I never say you need this. Because I want you to make that decision. I want you to make that decision. So that's it. We're going to wrap this up. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and I will catch you guys all in my next one. Bye.